We about to turn it on.
What's up people, welcome back to another vlog. We are here in Mysore at Kshatriya Force and it's a special vlog because after a long wait we have the Force Gurkha, the all new 2021 Gurkha, and we have the two cars in military green shade. So let us see what does this have on offer, and we'll take it through terrains, off-roads and a city drive. Well, stay tuned and watch the video till the very end, and the contact for Kshatriya Force will be in the description below. Yeah, let's get going.
Welcome to Kshatriya Force, and I wish very all the best to Adash Automotive for the review of our Force Gurkha vehicle. Any kind of Force vehicle related queries or any concerns, kindly contact given below number.
So this is the car key and the car is right here, and let's start from the front. Well, the design language, the all new design language, which is inspired from the Mercedes G-Wagon, well, it is a lot more appealing. And you know what, the interesting thing is that this is the only car that comes the stock fitted snorkel over here, and just look at the exoskeleton. It gives it the rugged feel and the look. Yeah, apart from that, these are the new alloys. The tires are a 16-inch with the section of 245/70. So 245 by 70 is the size of the wheel, and it says FM 2.6 CR. I'll open the engine bay and tell you what it is. All LED units with the DRL sort of segments around it, and as usual the Gurkha style, the indicators are placed in sort of the on the hood like a tower, and you get the big font of Gurkha and this bumper over here, and just look at the underbody. Yeah, so when it has this feature, when we press this, it sort of starts blinking. Well, good touch there is they have gone to this elevated to the all LED units all over, except for the fact that this gets the halogen tail lights, but that's not a problem. The front is really appealing. So this is the side profile. Just like the traditional off-roaders, it gets the small shorter wheelbase with a taller chassis. And you sit tall, and this big a single piece of glass here, and a proper foot rack to climb on top. And here we have the roof rails at both the sides. Well, they seem pretty functional, and a sort of serrations over there to keep your luggage. So it's pretty functional in terms of design and practical indeed. So let us look what it has to offer in the inside, because that's where the things have gone really uplifted. Let us see what are they. And this is the halogen headlamp. Before it was placed sideways, now they stand vertical. So this is the number plate bracket with the halogen light, and this is a proper towing hook. Well, I don't know, to be towed or to get towed. And a proper the same sized spare wheel here at the back, and BS6 written right here. And this gets the badging of 4x4x4 with all the terrains, like there's mountain, there's water, there's sand, and it marks its territory there. So let us see what it has to offer from the inside. And once we get back over here, it gets the back door, and it has the highest boot carrying capacity of 500 liters. Well, it's in this segment it's the highest. We get the AC vents and a hook there to keep our storage to hang our bags. And once we get inside, we have this passage to access the passenger seats. And trust me, I'm almost 6 feet and I have ample of leg room with the as you can see here, the driver's seat is completely backside, but there's plenty of room for me. And yeah, the big single piece glasses here, they give a good view of what's around. So yeah, it's really good. And without wasting much time, we'll take the cars through our terrains and let us see how does this drive. So let's get going. So opening the engine bay, we do get the first thing to see is the outlines of the engine, because it has this insulation treatment so that the vibration doesn't reach until the inside. Well, this unit, it's a 2.6 liter diesel engine, a turbocharged diesel engine. It produces a max horsepower of 90 and the top output is 250 Nm. Well, the number is quite enthusiastic, but I'll talk about the engine characteristics once we get driving. Well, these are the figures. And this Gurkha, the all new Gurkha, it rivals the one and only Mahindra Thar, and these are the only two in this segment, the off-roaders. And comparing this to the Thar, well, this sits 200 mm taller and it's a little narrower than the Thar, but the ground clearance is almost the same, unless the supporters, they actually tend to come a little downwards, but the ground clearance shouldn't be an issue because this has a very good legacy of off-roads. And the wheelbase is almost similar, but since this gets the 16-inch wheels, it's a little it's a little lower, and the boot carrying is also better in Gurkha with the 500 liters, whereas in Thar it's not adequate as such. Yeah, these are the key differences with the Thar and the Gurkha. And once we get driving, whenever I come across anything that feels different on this, I'll put it up against the Thar and tell you how does this feel like and how does this differ from the Thar. So here we are with the Gurkha out on the terrains. We've got this on the backwaters of KRS reservoir, and just take a moment to admire this car and task coming over here. So yeah, stay tuned, as there'll be two parts of the video of this Gurkha. The first, we are driving it here in the urban Mysore, and tomorrow we'll be taking it on a day trip. So yeah, let's get going. So just look at the track. It's a completely broken, and I'm in 4 high at present. It's 4 high first gear. Does at ease. I mean, just look at the way this takes on the terrains, and it's completely rough patch, and here is a small bump. So just that's how the Gurkha is built. And here we come touch the main road. And even though while we were getting it here, we went through the urban roads, and lots of it. I mean, there were so many people turning and taking a second look over the car. I mean, it is very attractive from the outside. It is inspired by the a very famous benchmark car that is, as we all know, as we all call it, the Mercedes G-Wagon. So it is inspired by that, and the design elements draw a lot of attraction and turns heads. So out here in the urban countryside roads, well, the car glides on at ease, and the power is very ample. In fact, 90 horsepower, it isn't punchy as such. There's no surge of power, but from a car like this, what you expect is it doesn't disappoint you. Your expectations are met, and yeah, the low end is good, and the vibrations, that's where the Force have really worked on. It's really smooth in the inside. Even the suspension, there are a few squeaks and screams a little here and there, but it's in rarest cases. Otherwise, there is no such problem of NVH levels, because it's very well contained. And yeah, the car is so far proven to be good over short trips and can say picnics. And talking about the maneuverability, well, the car, you can feel the weight of the car, but doesn't hinder its maneuverability, because it has the shortest turning radius in its segment. And talking of the feel and feedback from the talking of the feel and feedback from the steering, well, at lower speeds it decently weighs up, and you can cruise all day long, say at about 80 to 100 kilometers per hour at ease. And the steering is quite effortless considering its weight and the dimensions. It's quite decent, and one needs to get used to the feel and feedback from the motor, from the steering wheel. It takes some time, but not a difficult task. And the only thing I look for on the steering wheel are the controls for the infotainment system, because I always look to increase or decrease the volume or toggle through the songs. So I think Force should have given us the toggle buttons right here on the steering wheel, because it just feels a little outdated. Nonetheless, it's an improvement from the previous version. So yeah, kudos to that. So as I mentioned, it is easy to keep a pace of 80 to 100. Well, that's it. You can cruise all day long on that speeds, and if you get a small patch of off-road or anything, it is a piece of cake for this car, and it's enjoyable at such situations. There's no turning back, because this car can take any terrains, and that's what we will prove in the second part of the video. And here is the tire pressure monitoring system coming for a great use, because it is showing me the tire pressures. It says the outer ones are the front and the inside ones are the rear. So yeah, there's also the spare wheel tire pressure that shows up over in the center, and this is the microphone, as I told, so you can answer call, and you can answer calls hassle free. So yeah, it's still the same rugged and proven Force Gurkha, but with touches of these modern day requirements. This all new interior, this infotainment system, though they are aftermarket, but they don't make you feel like one, because they go well with the design and they just feel right at the place. So signals, people are gonna turn around to have a look at the second look at the car. We got some insane reactions there on the as we saw on the signal out there. There were so many insane reactions. I tried to on the camera, but it took a while to turn on, because people are gonna have a second look over the car, because it's the design makes them. I've been telling this, but it's a fact. I'm just highlighting it a few times. And this color we have got, as you saw, it is really attractive in this military green, shiny, and dazzles in this sunlight. So here we are signing off from the day one of our road trip with the Force Gurkha. Well, we took it all around Mysore, and a very infamous tourist spots. For example, the Mysore Palace and nearby zoo. And tomorrow it is gonna be a big day. So I hope you have enjoyed the part 1. And for more interesting road venture of the Force Gurkha, make sure that you watch and stay tuned for the part 2 as well. So